Alafia families, power is ultimate. Abaru, Oboye, Obosheshe, Ikaro, or whenever, part of the day that you're watching this, faith that all is well, faith that you are finding this video in good health and good peace. I will be your instructor today. Wafi Jako Moyoka. And today we're going to speak about offerings, Ashe. There's so many different offerings. We get a lot of different questions about offerings. The first thing we have to speak about is understand consecration, understand the Ashe, understand the right formula. It's critical. Why do we try to teach you so much? Because if you don't understand the formula, we kind of have these dull rituals. Ashe, we kind of have these empty ceremonies. So when you're giving offerings, it's very important to understand the formula. Me personally, Baba loves cookies, right? Like I love cookies. If you bring me some cookies, you're gonna be on my good side, right? But donuts, I like donuts as well, but they're not a good treat for me. They don't sit right in my gut, right? So don't bring me any donuts. But the cookies is how you get on my good side. But and it's kind of like the same thing, understanding who you're dealing with and what they like. The formula, getting the formula correct. So it's kind of like, just because just because you bring me an offering, you bring me donuts, it don't exactly mean that I'm going to accept those donuts like I'll accept those cookies. Okay? So kind of the same thing. We have to understand, just because, and we also have to understand, the frequencies. Just because you bring me this treat, just because you bring me this offering, just because you bring me these donuts, don't exactly mean that I'm going to pay your rent for you. Okay? It don't exactly mean you get to borrow my car. It don't exactly mean that I'm going to go confront the bully in your life. I'm going to go fist fight for you. Okay? Just because you brung me these treats. Now, you will be on my good side. I will do a lot of other things for you, but you have to understand what type of offerings are we giving to which entity, which deity, which orisa, which ancestor. Okay? It's all about the formula. It's all about the schematic. So we have to keep that in mind, that each and every frequency requires another energy for a specific outcome, for a specific benefit. So we have to keep that in mind. So I want to go over a couple different offerings that we offer, because there's a lot of basic offerings and there's a lot of more complex offerings, just based on which ceremony, which ritual that you are engaging in. So just a couple, which offerings do we keep on hand? So if you come into interactions with a real Ayanifa, with a real Babalao, with a real Mamalao, anyone who is really practicing these cultures, we have a couple offerings that we just keep on hand. Ashe, so we want to go to a couple of them. The first one I want to speak about is Ami Tutu. What do we mean by Ami Tutu? We mean by Ami Tutu as being water. Ashe, cool water. Ami Tutu is giving to these orisas for specific reasons. It can be for renewal, it can be for purity, it can be for hydration, it can be for clarity, it can be for peace, it could be for purity. I already said that. It could be for calamity, okay? Calming, peaceful understanding, peaceful readings, peaceful interpretation, evaluations, okay? We use Amitutu for many different so-called offerings. We give Amitutu every week to our ancestors. We give Amitutu to Asu, okay? We give Amitutu to Obatala. When we speak about water and how powerful water is, we were just speaking about Osun. And when we speak about this water, we got to understand that there's many different collections. Okay? So when we just speak about the river, understand that there's many different rivers. That the specific river that is in the motherland, which we call Osun, this is a specific river. Okay? You have Oba, you have Imoja, you have Olokun, even Obatala is a form of a different form of water. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind of how important Amitutu is to us. Okay, sometimes we give Amitutu to Asu. This is to cool the head. This is to cool the path. This is to cool the renewal. Like I said, we give them to the ancestors for many different reasons, and so on. So you will always see the Amitutu. You will always see the water. Us deal with the water. We spoke about the water being very, very beneficial, that when you go through even like Christian or Catholic traditions where you see the baptism, okay, it's a high source of power. We say that the Ashe and the frequencies of Ori and the frequencies of renewal and the frequencies of abundance, it lies in the herbs. But water is one of the most powerful herbs. Yes, water is a herb all in itself, And this is how powerful water is. So the next, we have the red palm oil. The red palm oil is very, very important. Now, even it's even used for cooking in many different cultures and many different traditions. We use it for cooking. It has many different benefits as far as the health go. Now, the red palm oil is very, very beneficial because it can be used as a substitute. So when you're dealing with a soup, we use, you find it being used as a cooling mechanism. Red palm oil is good for cooling. It's good for even banishing witchcraft off of you. It's good, once again, it's used as a substitute. And when we see it used as a substitute, we're usually giving it to a soup. And we give it to a soup as a substitute for the blood. It could be substituted for the blood. For individuals who don't want to sacrifice so many animals every single week, you can use palm oil. This is for appeasement to a soup. This is for pleasing a soup, giving a soup honor, giving it devotion. Once again, I say it's for banishing witchcraft, keeping witchcraft off of you. When you find it in Nigeria, when you find it in the motherland, when you find it in Yoruba, they're using it. You see them using it, taking it, ingesting it, and they say it's for an anti-fever. This goes into the understanding of it being cooling the head of a Sioux, because we know fevers take place in the head. That's why we put our hand on the back of. So the red palm oil is good for that. The next we have adi. We say adi. Now, in the beginning of my cultures, or the beginning of my practice, when they would speak about adi, and I didn't really understand until I went to a real ceremony. So they speak about ati, they speak about this liquor, they speak about this alcohol. Give this alcohol to the Orisas, give this alcohol to specific energies for specific reasons. But we have to understand that each and every Orisa takes something different. So it is considered taboo in certain cultures for a Sioux to get dry gin. I like to tell people it's all based on your Odu, and I let people highly, get the interpretation or get their perspective based on their specific journey. That's why I say it's based on the Odu. So what I mean by that is when we see a Sioux, we highly give a Sioux rum. Sometimes he can get brandy, but when it comes to the Aikenians, when it comes to Olimila, we give dry gin. Dry gin is used highly in the Ati. Now, the dry gin, there's many different forms of gin, but the dry gin is what you want to seek after, and you can use it when we speak about ati. You can use the dry gin. So what is the dry gin doing? We say adicio. When you give this ati to, let's just say a soup. When you give ati to a soup, we say adicio. Or when you blow it, or when you pour it. You can blow it or you can pour it. What do we mean by blow it? You take a little bit into your mouth and you blow it and you spray it out of the mouth onto the orisa. And you say adicio, meaning that this liquor is coming down. Meaning that the ashe is coming down. The mist is descending. Adicio. The mist is descending. Ashe. Now you're telling this, and when you're giving this offering, it's like to shake up, right? It's like to waken, right? It's to expose, is to break in the brink of consciousness. So you're waking up a Sioux when you give him this adi. You say adicio asu ashe. You're giving this. You're telling him that you're raining down these blessings for him to wake up and start doing the work, to be active, to start moving. Ashe. When we say adicio, we speaking. I look to you for you to begin working. Ashe. So this is like charging up. This is you giving an assignment. This is you, hey energy, hey Orisa, hey Asu, I'm a child of yours. I'm coming to you and I'm giving you this offering so you can begin to work for us. Ashe. So anytime we deal or you see ati, it's something to keep in mind. And this is what I mean by the formula, because certain cultures, certain temples, certain branches believe that dry gin is considered taboo to give to certain Orisas, specifically like Obatala. Obatala doesn't take alcohol at all, so that's something for us to keep in mind. And it's a culture. Why do we study so much? Why do we teach so much? Because it's a high culture. Now, this is one of the taboos that I ran into. Now, many of you who have been to the ceremonies, who have been to in-person ceremonies here at Okarama, temple in Ile, you probably have witnessed us blow smoke onto a soup. We did this specific ritual because it came back with the Odu. So it was specific based on the formulas that we were given, that we were blowing smoke, we were blowing tobacco onto this Orisa, but in many different facets, in many different rituals, in many different ceremonies, branches, temples, and traditions, we find it as taboo to blow smoke onto the Orisa. Certain Orisas take it as disrespect to blow the smoke onto it. So this is why you see when we deal with the Oguns, excuse me, not Ogun, but when we deal with the Igunguns, we don't exactly blow the smoke on them too much. We just offer the plant of tobacco to them. So that's just something to keep in mind, that it kind of gets a little bit different when we're dealing with them. So next we have the Obi. Okay. Now this is Obi Abata when we talk about Obi Abata, but we have to understand that we're talking about the cola nut. Now there is bitter cola, which I don't. I have some. It's all the way in the pantry. But you have bitter cola nut, which is more oval shaped, which is brown, and it kind of have like a skin over it. This is a high offering as well. And then we have this cola. This is the cola nut, Rashay. You have the bitter cola, then you have the cola nut, which we call Obi, Rashay. Now, when we talk about the Obi, what is the Obi? Why do we use the Obi? Why is the Obi so important? Why won't a Babalao like myself don't conduct certain rituals without the Obi present? Because the Obi is a determinant, Rashay. The Obi tells us if we're doing the right thing, if our offerings was even received, if our ceremony and ritual was accepted, if our appeasements was granted, Ashay. So when we see the Obi, this is a determinant, making sure you're doing the rituals in the right way. Now you'll also see the cowrie shells. We all know what the cowrie shells is. I have them over there. We all know what the cowrie shells is. Cowrie can be a substitute if you don't have any Obi cola nut, but we specifically like to use the cola nut because it's more of a natural pathic way. Now, why is that? Now, there's many different energies or shades that comes with the cola nut. So sometimes they come in 2 lobes, and sometimes they come in 4 lobes. We have the 4 lobes here. We have the males and we have the females, which we will speak more about in a whole different lecture as far as the Obi cola nut. But we have to understand that when we're dealing with this is so we can read in the correct way. This is so we can communicate to a different facet, okay? So like I say, sometimes if you don't have the cola nut, you will have the cowrie shell to be able to ask the ancestors if the rituals was accepted in the right way. Now, the next we have honey, Ashe. Honey is very, very important. Honey is for sweetening. Honey is for pleasing. Honey is for, even in certain cultures and tradition, opening the path. So you will see us deal with honey a lot, Ashe. Now, you also have the alligator peppers, Ashe. Now, the alligator peppers is very, very important. It's very strong. It's very pleasing. Now, once again, just going back to the cola. Now, these just all of these frequencies can be found naturally, right? They can be found in nature. Ashe, you can find honey in nature. You can create and find all of the botanicals that create the dry gin is from nature. Ashe, everything that creates the palm oil is from nature. Ashe, the cola nut is a plant. It does has the ashe or from the universe. Ashe, the same with the alligator pepper. Now, the alligator pepper, you can either be grounded up or you can find it in these lobes that we have. Now, this alligator pepper is for strengthening, right? It's for strengthening power. Sometimes it's for purification almost, Ashe. Sometimes it's for, we use it during prayers. So when you can either use amituto or you can use the oti, Ashe. When you're using the alligator pepper, some of us put the alligator pepper in our mouth, and when we blow onto the recess or we blow onto the specific Akenyans, for Akenyans, we use the alligator pepper, and this is mixing it in with our saliva, and that is a form of ashe, correct? And we place it onto the Akenyans, and this is how we give offerings and appeasement in a certain way to the Akenyans. So alligator pepper you will always find with us. So there's different types of offerings, and there's always different types of offerings. You have ebos, ashe, which ebos can come in many different forms. There's thousands and thousands of different ebos. This is a high offering that we use. Sometimes we use the red palm oil, but this is when we use the blood. So you would have higo, shigo, ashe. You would have oruku. You would have, the chickens, the roosters, the she. you would give a specific formula. These ebos usually comes back with the odu. So when we speak about diagnosis, this formula that you would give through the ebo is from a diagnosis based on where you are going and what you are going through. If you give this formula, this will clear the path. This will remove the blockades. This will walk with you as far as the ashe and the energy. Ashe. Now, or we speak about orike. When we speak about orike, you have orike and you have orike orisa. Orike is these chants, it's these prayers, it's these incantations, invocations. Ashe. These chants, this, you're giving an offering of the vocal cords. You're giving an offering of the breath, the imi. Ashe, you're giving an offering from the self, from the mind, from the spirit. Now, when we talk about Orike Orisa, this is when it gets a little bit more specific. You're giving a specific chant, a specific prayer, a specific offering to this Orisa for this specific matter. So that is a different form of it as well. Now you have Adimos, which Adimos, and you have Ori Apiri. We're dealing with food offerings. So you might deal with fruit, you might deal with snacks and different sweets, you might deal with pastries, you might, cakes and different things like that. You might deal with cooked foods. The cooked foods, you might deal with specific dishes, meals, stews, all the way that can be mixed into specific ebos for these orisas. When we deal with adimus, like I say, adimus, it can be the eggplant for Oya. It can be the apple for Shango. Okay? It can be the bitter cola nut given to Oya. It can be the bitter cola nut given to Asu. You might give different adimus to Obatala. Okay? So you might give milk. You might give the white powdered pastries. Okay? You might give egg. And based on the formula of the Odu, it would tell you with diagnosis of how to interact. So sometimes you see they might give, hey, give 8 eggs and cut them into 10s. Okay? So, it's a formula there. And then just to the ewe, to the herbs, specific herbs have specific frequencies. And when you start understanding these orisas, when you start understanding your ancestors, when you start understanding these frequencies that these plants have, you start to understand which correlation do you need to tap into. So when you stub your toe, when you get fired from your job, when you're arguing with your spouse, when you're having trouble with your children, when your children are struggling in school, when you're struggling with finances, all of these come with certain frequencies. And if you can tap into the components, you'll be able to tap into you tap into the components, you start to understand the communication, you'll build the proper relationship, okay? Because any relationship comes with what? It comes with communication. It comes with talking. Sometimes we talk too much, so we got to listen. So it comes with meditation. It comes with prayers. It comes with chants. It comes with offerings, which that comes with faith. All of this is connected, okay? So we have to start understanding the frequencies on a higher abundant level. And this is why we sit with you with the offerings. We want you to study. We want you to dive into the information, dive into the education of this, specifically when we deal with the prayers, we deal with the chants, we deal with the offerings. So it's something very, very important. For individuals who want to dive deeper into how to properly give the offerings, this will be a attribute or a benefit of our next tier. Okay? Our next tier will be the leaf course, which this will be a medicine course. This will be a ewe course. This will be how to live longer through using the ashe of the ewe. Okay? Like how to really get benefits from these plants. Not only giving as an offering to the orisa, but giving them as an offering to yourself. Every plant that we use has a health benefit for you. We speak heavily about like essential oils. You don't consume essential oils. Those are giving for specific offerings. So this is the importance of understanding what these plants are used for when you put them through certain preservations. We have tinctures, tonics, salves, essential oils. We have paste. We have just different concoctions that we make for specific reasons. Oremedio is supposed to be drunk and it's supposed to be bathed in. It's not only supposed to be used as a shedding, but you're supposed to drink it. It's not only supposed to be used during consecration, where we use it as a purification, where we use it as a cleansing. So this is something that is important, and this is what the next tier is going to tell you. So you're going to learn more, not only about the medicines the okosis, the awuru, but also not only the airway and the different herbs and the frequencies that you can find in the grocery stores, but also the ones that you have to go and track down, the ones you have to walk in the woodlands for, the ones you have to come to a baba and we order them specifically and get them clipped and preserved from Nigeria or Sunste or oil. So we can specifically get the traditional ashe of what we're looking for. The dirt in Nigeria is different than the dirt in America, so this is why we track down specific plants, ashe. Now, when we speak about ormerio, I have a little bit bagged up here. We speak about ormerio, we speak about these 21 different herbs given in an offering, given in consecration, given in blessings, purification, giving to specific orisas. Specific herbs is giving to specific orisas, ashe. Now, like in we're not going to speak about palo mayombe or any of the palos too much, but when we speak about the term palo, we're speaking about sticks, right? And I speak about it a lot when we start talking about the ologies. So analogy, psychology, biology, astrology, ashe. The ologies, we speak about how breaking that word down, you get log, log. That log is a substitute for the word branch. Branch is in representation metaphorically for tree, the tree of life. The tree of life is trying to get you to be this enlightened frequency, ashe, to get you to nirvana, to get you to Orun, to get you to the next stage of the dimensions, to get you to the next stage of transitioning. So we have to understand that when we speak about palo, these palos are branches, they're plants, they have specific ashes, they have specific frequencies. And if you understand how to use these sticks, these branches, you can start, opening up the path for you. So when we start talking about these different things, we have to understand what witchcraft truly is. Okay? We have to understand that in our cultures, witchcraft is looking at something as a shamanic resonance. Okay? It's looking at something as a guru. It's looking at something as a medicine woman or a medicine man. And that's what, when we say in Palo Mayombe, we say that you're a palero. We say that you're a palera. A man or a woman who is working with the sticks, a man or a woman who understands the airway, who understands the frequency of nature. So this is just something to keep in mind when we start dealing with offerings, that we're dealing with plants, we're dealing with frequencies of nature. We're not dealing with something that that's exactly man-made, ashe, which we get different ashes, we get different powers from man-made items. Because it's time, it's frequency, it's patience, it's dedication, it's devotion, it's belief, it's faith, it's consecration, it's assigning, it's aiming. But when we deal with offerings naturally, naturopathic offerings, these have ancient frequencies that have been here longer than all of us. Okay? We speak about the dirt, right? Dirt is one of the first frequencies here, the sand, the air, the water. All of these have something to do with the plants. So we have to understand that the plants is in frequency with what is keeping us alive. The air, the sunlight, the water, right? The dirt. Okay? Look up the dirt and how important the dirt is to our survival. If the dirt become tainted, it's just like the water becoming tainted. So we got to keep this in mind. This is why we say don't litter. This is why we say spend time in nature. Go walk in the woods. Go bury your feet into the dirt, barefoot. Start grounding, doing the root work. When we speak about root work, we speak about that as being using roots, okay? Using the natural essences of what we have. You don't always have to go spend thousands and thousands of dollars for these rituals and ceremonies. And with all these man-made items, right? You can go meditate in the woods. Go walk in the woods. Have a journal and have a guide and go walk in the woods. Find which plant does what for you. Okay? Milk thistle is a powerful plant that you can find in the right locations near rivers. Okay? So we got to keep this in mind. Spinach is a plant that you can find in the grocery store. And you can grow it very easily, indoors and outdoors. But until we understand why we use spinach, then we won't understand, or what we can use it for, we won't understand that we can use it more than sell it. Okay? So this is something to keep in mind when we start talking about offerings. Everything can be given as an offering, even urine, even saliva, even sperm, body fluids. Ashe, these are naturopathic essences that hold ashe, holds power, holds the frequencies of abundance, the frequencies of maneuverability, the frequencies of advancement. Ashe. So we got to keep this in mind where the prosperity and abundance lies when we start dealing with the ashe, when we start dealing with the offering giving. Once again, our leaf stage will be, our leaf tier will be opening up, and this is for the next stage. So what will you receive in this stage? You will receive how to give the specific offerings, why we give the specific offerings, what the specific offerings is, what the chants and prayers is. It will be everything that you're receiving in the root stage, but in this stage you will go through all of the next stages of how to give the offerings in the correct way, Ashe. And this will also be, you will also get the benefit of working with me 2 times a month for free. So you will have a 2-hour consultation, and if you are here, you can come sit with me at the altars and we can do work, or you can bring your items, your tools, and I will consecrate them for you. But you have 2 sessions with me a month for free to really walk with you to your path. This is a benefit from our mentor program, Ashe. So faith that you learned something in this half an hour, faith that I have taught you at least something that you jotted down in your notes and you could take with you. And I just want to speak about the easy access items or offerings that we can get. Now, we do have access to all of these offerings. Anyone who need anything that we mentioned, please contact us. And we want to give thanks and gratitude for your participation in the Academy, Ashe. So power is ultimate, families. Everybody stay healthy out there. Ashe Abakum.